What if your plants could burst into life overnight, without chemicals, expensive fertilizers, or waiting weeks for results? It sounds too good to be true, yet history tells a different story. Ancient farmers discovered a powerful soil secret that doesn't just feed plants, it transforms the very ground they grow in. This ancient formula, known today as biochar, works so fast that gardeners around the world report visible changes within just 24 hours. Leaves stand taller, colors deepen, and the entire garden suddenly feels alive again. And the best part? You can make it at home using simple, natural materials. Long before synthetic fertilizers flooded the market, early farmers from the Amazon to Europe were producing jaw-dropping harvests using nothing but organic materials and fire. Their soils never wore out, even after generations of planting. The secret ingredient was what modern science now calls biochar, a carbon-rich material created when organic matter is heated in a low-oxygen environment. Unlike ash, which burns away nutrients, biochar preserves them inside billions of microscopic pores that act like tiny nutrient vaults for your plants. This isn't folklore. Modern soil scientists have confirmed that the same technique used thousands of years ago can turn poor, lifeless soil into one of the most fertile mediums on Earth. Here's the magic. Biochar doesn't just feed your plants, it rebuilds the entire ecosystem beneath the surface. Each particle of biochar becomes a home for beneficial microbes, bacteria, and fungi. Once it enters the soil, it starts multiplying life almost instantly. Those microbes break down nutrients into forms plants can absorb right away. Within just a few hours, your plants experience a surge in nutrient availability. Their roots expand, water retention improves, and photosynthesis really intensifies. The leaves grow greener, stems thicken, and energy production just skyrockets. It's completely natural. And honestly, it really can happen overnight. The reason plants respond so quickly lies in how biochar changes soil physics. Its porous structure creates tiny air pockets that improve oxygen flow to the roots. It holds onto water like a sponge, reducing stress and boosting hydration. Most importantly, those pores trap nutrients and microbes right where plants can reach them. Instead of nutrients washing away like they do with chemical fertilizers, biochar holds them in place, creating a stable, nutrient-rich zone around your roots. The effect is immediate and long-lasting. Gardeners who use it often describe the next morning's transformation as, well, a visible awakening. You don't need fancy equipment or special chemicals, just a few natural materials and honestly, a little patience. Here's how to make your own biochar and turn your soil into a living powerhouse. Start with dry organic materials such as wood chips, rice husks, corn, cobs, dried leaves, or coconut shells. These are all rich in carbon, which is, the essential element in biochar. Place them in a metal drum or a covered pit and light them. Once they catch fire, reduce the oxygen by partially covering the container. You don't want a roaring flame, you want it to smolder slowly. Watch carefully. When the smoke thins and the material turns a deep, rich black but hasn't turned to ash, extinguish the fire completely. Let it cool. What you have now is raw biochar, but don't use it yet. In this state, it acts like a nutrient sponge, soaking up everything from your soil before your plants can. To make it instantly effective, you must charge the biochar first. This process fills all those micropores with nutrients and beneficial microbes, so your plants can benefit right away instead of waiting weeks. Here's the formula. Mix 1 kilogram of biochar with 10 liters of water. Add 2 cups of compost tea, or well-rotted manure to the mix. Stir thoroughly and let it sit for at least 24 hours. This soaking step infuses the biochar with life and energy, the same way ancient farmers did without ever knowing the microbiology behind it. When ready, mix the charged biochar into your garden soil at a ratio of 1 part biochar to 5 parts soil. For larger garden beds, use roughly 1 kilogram per square meter, blending it into the top 15 to 20 centimeters of soil. Finish by watering thoroughly to activate microbial activity. Then wait and watch the transformation unfold. Once biochar hits the soil, things change fast. The first sign is that your plants begin to stand taller, their leaves appear firmer and more vibrant as they absorb a rush of nutrients and moisture. Within a single day, the garden starts to look more alive. Within a week, it's often unrecognizable, lush, thriving, and deeply green. Roots expand through the newly aerated soil, beneficial organisms multiply exponentially, and the soil stays moist even in the heat. Unlike chemical fertilizers that give plants a short-lived boost, biochar builds a foundation for sustained health and growth. The real magic of biochar goes beyond the first 24 hours. It doesn't wash away or break down quickly like fertilizer granules. Instead, it stays in the soil for decades, continuing to hold nutrients, improve structure, and support microbial life. It also balances soil pH, helping neutralize acidity and unlock nutrients in alkaline soils. That means less watering, stronger crops, and far fewer nutrient losses year after year. Over time, biochar transforms dry, compacted or sandy soils into rich, dark, living earth that keeps giving back season after season. What makes this formula truly timeless is how it bridges ancient knowledge with modern soil science. Those early farmers didn't know about carbon sequestration, microbial colonies, or nutrient cycling, but they understood balance. They worked with nature, not against it. Biochar was their way of letting the soil breathe, feed, and heal itself naturally. Today, science confirms what they discovered through centuries of observation. Biochar not only improves fertility, it helps combat climate change by locking carbon into the ground for hundreds of years. So, when you create and use it, you're not just growing better plants, you're contributing to a sustainable, regenerative system that benefits the entire planet. Here's a simple test to prove how effective it is. Take two identical plants, treat one with your freshly made biochar mix, and leave the other untouched. Water both evenly and check them the next morning. The difference will shock you. The treated plant will look livelier, greener, and more robust. Clear proof that this ancient method still outperforms modern fertilizers. So, skip the chemical quick fixes. The secret to overnight growth and long-term fertility has been hiding in plain sight for thousands of years. You can make it right in your backyard with nothing but organic waste, fire, and water. If you found this guide valuable, don't keep it to yourself. Subscribe to Crop Corner, hit that like button, and share this with every gardener you know. Let's revive the lost wisdom of ancient growers and bring our soils and our gardens back to life. At Crop Corner, we don't just grow plants, we grow knowledge, one garden at a time.